So I'd like to once more welcome everyone today at Dhammagiri for our robe offering ceremony. We had 3 monks completing the rainy season retreat, the Vasa, the Pansa, successfully, which is one of the conditions to really have that occasion. And one monk finished his 10th rains retreat at Anumodanā. He's a Thera now, we call him Ajahn. And our junior monk is no longer a junior monk. Venerable Muditā, he finished his 5th rains retreat and is now a Majjhima monk, a monk of medium seniority. So I'm very happy that both of that happened here at Dhammagiri. Anumodanā was already the 3rd rains retreat at Dhammagiri, Venerable Muditā the 2nd, and hopefully a few more will occur in the future. It was beautiful living together with them. We had a very harmonious and quiet Vasa dedicated to quietly practicing bhavana, studying the Dhamma. And Venerable Muditā will be leaving us in 2 weeks' time, because that is the time when monks can travel again. We are free to travel again. And he will be back to Portland, Oregon, first time after 7 years back to his home country in the US. In my own case, I think nothing special. I just got 1 year older. 26 rains now, I think, something like that. We also like to express our Anumodanā for the support we have received during this rains retreat. Both monks remarked to me how beneficial Dhammagiri is set up for the practice of meditation. Now, this place was never meant to be particularly big in attracting huge crowds for ceremonies, although I'm happy to see that quite a few people are happy to come. But it was mostly dedicated that some monks can live here and some guests from the lay community to practice bhavana, sense restraint, and developing samadhi, wisdom and insight. And I was very happy to see that happening in that rainy season retreat. It was an excellent time to have such companions in the holy life. And it was an amazing support. I'm very happy that the community here has that understanding that monks get supported not just for being brilliant Dhamma talkers, but that monks are getting supported for doing the foremost duties of a bhikkhu. And what is the foremost duty of a bhikkhu? Practicing bhavana, maintaining their virtue, their sila, and then developing the Eightfold Path, practicing samatha and vipassana. And it was impressive to see how many people enjoy coming and supporting that. So after the rainy season is over, the rainy season retreat is over, there's still 1 month left in the rainy season, the 4th month, and that is a month of Kartika, and is also known as a Robe season. And it's the traditional time where the lay community comes together in an act of working together in concord and harmony, and expressing the appreciation to the Sangha for their practice in the rainy season retreat, and giving the Sangha, providing the Sangha, offering the requisites they need that they can set out traveling again. This is considered one of the most auspicious occasions in the whole year to make Puñña, to make merit, to generate good karma, what we call the boon or pin or Puñña or good karma, whatever you call it. what it is that wholesome quality in your heart which you build up with every act of giving, of supporting, of letting go, of generosity. And it's so important that we do that, because it's similar to a bank account. I guess you probably all have a bank account, isn't it? And what happens with your bank account, if you take money out, because you go shopping, money taken out, and you put no new money into your bank account, what will happen? You run out of money. You may go into debt, and you're in big trouble. So just like you always make sure that you put enough money in your bank account, so we have to make sure that we always put more puñña into our karmic bank account. Because all the good things we are enjoying in life, the money in your pocket, the beautiful house you may have, your family, now all the good things in life ultimately is a result of the good karma we have made, either in this life or in past lives. Now, as a result of our action, it's not fortuitous, it's not by chance. And if we only enjoy good things, that would be the same like having a well-filled bank account and taking the money out in order to go shopping and enjoying it and not putting anything into it. But what an occasion today, robe offering in the Kartika month. This is a time to really boost your bank account. Because there's many factors that will influence how much puñña you make with a certain action. Whenever you give something intentionally, you always make puñña, good karma, and a lot. But it can never harm to make even more than a lot. And this is what we are trying to do at Dhammagiri, to support you that the puñña you make is being maximized. For example, the buffet system. You're maximizing your puñña because you give all your food to the monks. All the food you bring, you usually offer. And after the monks have taken, we pass it back to you. So you're only eating leftovers. And you have given everything which you bought, and that is maximum puñña. But another condition is offering with faith, with saddha, with confidence and conviction in the Triple Gem, with confidence and conviction in the effects of karma. If someone believes in the principle of karma, that our action will result in future rewards, if someone has a faith that any bad action of harming others will lead to unpleasant experiences and pain and suffering in the future, if someone has conviction, faith, that any good action of generosity, of giving, of helping others will lead to joy and happiness and a fortunate rebirth in the future, then that person will make even more good karma. This is additional good karma. You give something and you're convinced that the karmic results will come one day. If you give and you have affection and devotion to the Triple Gem, to the Lord Buddha, to the Sangha, to Dhamma, then you will have more good karma. Because something that is given out of faith and affection to the Buddha and the noble Sangha will generate even more good karma for you. This is why we are not giving anything to any individual monks. If you give just to the monks you really like, and you may not give so much to the monks you don't like, you can notice that there's a restriction, a limitation. This is why we always do the dedication of offerings, that you have the intention in your heart. You're not just giving to Ajahn Dhammasija, Ajahn Muneyo, or Venerable Bodhisattva. You're not just giving to the monks staying in this monastery, but your intention is to give to the Sangha of the four quarters, whether they are in Thailand or Sri Lanka, whether they are in Australia or Germany or Austria, America, Vietnam. The Sangha is large and is in many countries and continents, and you imagine that your donation is for the whole Sangha. Because when other monks come in, we share what you're giving. And there's another condition that will maximize your merit. What do you think? There's two people and they give the same amount of offerings and they have faith and devotion to the Buddha, but one person who is giving has got a very pure heart. They have their precepts very pure, immaculate, impeccable, purified 5 precepts, and that beautiful quality of virtue in their heart. And the other person doesn't really have very good precepts, who is going to make more good karma. The one whose heart is more pure, who has got a good basis and foundation of virtue. This is why we will start proceedings now by taking the triple refuge in the Buddha and by observing the 5 precepts. Because the moment when you go through that ceremony, and on a day like this you feel very inspired, and you really take refuge in Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha like you mean it, immediately that quality of faith in your heart will become stronger. And all the good karma you make is even more limitless, is greater. The moment when you observe the 5 precepts here, maybe even if someone, it can happen that there are still weaknesses, but now you have the intention when we do the ceremony that you really want to try to keep the precepts. That intention in itself is elevating your heart to a higher, more sublime level. And again, then all the good karma you make will have even more long-lasting effect, will be even greater, and will be limitless. So I'd like to ask our treasurer team, who is leading the chanting today, and Tum and Chanya, who have been beautifully sharing the treasurer duties when we had so many successful projects happening in the last 2-3 years, to request the triple refuge and the 5 precepts from the Sangha.
Please after me. Mayang Phante Ti Saranena Saha Pancha Sila Niyajama Tutiyampi Mayang Phante Ti Saranena Saha Pancha Sila Niyajama Tatiyampi Mayang Phante Ti Saranena Saha Pancha Sila Niyajama
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhaṃ saranang gacchami.
Buddhaṃ saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saranang gacchami.
Tutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tisananagamanang nittitang. Panatipata vedamani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinādana vedamani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Atinādana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kāmesu micchāchārā vedamani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kāmesu micchāchārā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musāvātā vedamani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musāvātā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sura medaya macchapamadatthana vedamani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Surameraya macchapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Imani pancha sikkhapadani silena sugating yanti silena bhoga sampada silena nipputing yanti tasma silang visodaye. So puñña, good karma, what this is all about here today, accumulating in harmonious interaction as a whole community between Sangha and laity, harmoniously cooperating to generate puñña, good karma. But what is puñña? Is it only something we will receive in the future, in the next life? For sure, now all your good karma will come to you in the future, in future lives. But it's also something that is in our heart right now. And it's good that we get a feeling for that. Because puñña is the same as happiness. That's what the Buddha said himself. What we call good karma, puñña, and what we call happiness is basically synonyms. And whether you believe me or whether you believe the Lord Buddha or not, you can just check it. Because what does it feel like after you have taken refuge now and you committed to these 5 precepts? Now, this is a very powerful act of lots of good karma. And can you feel it in your heart? Can you feel that happiness? Can you feel that happiness of sharing all the food, having offered that? Now, this is puñña, this is the happiness you feel in your heart. And that is what you get straight away. And on top of that, you will get all the future results of long life, health, beauty, happiness, success, appreciation, and good fortune in the future and in whole future lives. But when we learn to mindfully, using the faculty of sati, sampajanya, mindfulness and wisdom, mindfulness and clear comprehension, when we notice while we are making puñña, how good it feels, what will be the result? You will be making lots of puñña because you have noticed it feels so good. And no one will have to tell you to make good karma. You will just love doing it because you can feel, apart from your faith in the Buddha, that it will come to you in future lives. You already have the knowledge from your own experience. The more puñña I make, the more good karma, the more happiness I experience. And then you can't wait to make more puñña all the time. And that was so beautiful to see in the rainy season retreat, that all these people are coming in, that the monks are not really doing anything much. We share a little bit Dhamma teachings, else we are just in our kutis in solitude and seclusion. But people really enjoy supporting us because they feel the puñña they are generating. Whenever we make good karma, again to maximize it, we try to form the intention. We want to make the intention, cetana in Pali, very strong. Because karma depends on intention. Like when we are walking in the forest, sometimes we may accidentally step on a little insect and kill it. But there's no intention. And when there's no intention, there's no karma. But it's the same with our wholesome, good actions. And if someone just comes to the monastery, but there's no real intention of giving, of sharing, they just come bring some food, it's all good karma, but it's more powerful, it's stronger if you make the intention in your heart really firm. If that intention is based on faith in the Triple Gem, if that intention is additionally based on purity of virtue, then your karma will be great, immeasurable. Like these huge rain clouds which sometimes come here in Queensland, and it rains heavily just everywhere. This is how we want to give, the boundless, limitless. This is why we always do that dedication chant, because that is a time for you to form that intention, not to any monk personally, but you imagine that the monks you see here are only representing the Sangha of the 4 quarters and the Sangha of the 3 times, past, present and future, and even including Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Moggallana, including all the Kruba Ajahns. And I like to again ask Chanya and Tum to do the dedication for the Pangsakula robes and all other offerings.
Please say Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Please repeat after me. Imani mayang phante. Imani mayang phante. Pangsakula jiwarani. Pangsakula jiwarani. Sapariwarani. Sapariwarani. Bhikkhu sanghassa. Bhikkhu sanghassa. Ono chayama. Ono chayama. Sathuno phante. Sathuno phante. Bhikkhu sangkho. Bhikkhu sangkho. Imani. Imani. Pangsakula jiwarani. Pangsakula jiwarani. Sapariwarani. Sapariwarani. Patikanhatu. Patikanhatu. Amhakang tikarataṃ. Amhakang tikarataṃ. Hitaya sukhaya. Hitaya sukhaya.
Venerable Sirs, we respectfully ask to offer this forest cloth together with these other requisites to the Bhikkhu Sangha. May the Bhikkhu Sangha please accept this forest cloth together with these other requisites for the lasting benefit and happiness of us all.
Sadhu. So that is a time for all the offerings. We have quite a few people here, and I like to request you, once you have offered your robes and other requisites, if you go out through the sliding door on the left side of the Buddha statue. If you go out on the left side of the Buddha statue and then you can later come back in, then we have a nice flow and everyone gets a chance to offer whatever they like to give. Whom is also sharing all the merit on the 20th death anniversary of her father, which is exactly today, I believe. Well done. A unicorn. In front of the shrine, you can receive them. Good to see you again. How are you keeping? Are you happy to be back in Australia? Yeah, nice country, no? Yeah, sadhu, well done. Yeah, good. You've received it. You have made your karma. Thank you. Set for You lost your grandmother.
Sorry?
You lost your grandmother, yeah, my sympathies. Lots of merit to her. young.
Pardon?
You stay married with your mother.
Yes.
Quick improvement to your voice. And here comes the non-money money tree. We can receive it because it's... Okay. For the real money tree, I like to request our Vice President, Dr. Malik, one of our committee members in the function of Vice President, to receive these kind donations from the Gold Coast Temple community on behalf of Brisbane Buddhist Vihara Inc. Yeah, if you pass it to our Vice President, Dr. Malik. Sadhu. The Gold Coast seems to have a very favorable climate for growing money on trees. Next, the monks will now be doing the traditional silent contemplation of the Pangsu Kula Chivara. Kali dadanti sapanya vadanyo vitamachara kalina dinang harisu ujubute sutadisu vipassana manatasa vipulahuti dakina Etata anumodanti veya vachang kadonti va nati natakina ona te pipunya sabhagino tasmadadi apativana cito yatadinang mahapalang Puññani paradokasming patitta hanti paninanti. Next, now we will do the traditional Anumodanā, expressing our joy, our happiness for all the good karma you are making today, inviting the Devas, Yagas, Nagas, Gandharvas, Garudas, Upanas, Brahmas, and all spirits to express their Muditā for your actions. This is a time to share your good karma with all past relatives and to send blessings to those who are still alive. And this is a time for the monks to express their appreciation for the great support we have received from you. We wish you that all the good karma you're making today will result in long life, health, strength, beauty, happiness, success, good fortune in this life and in many future lives, until you finally realize the Dhamma and attain Nibbana. Yattā varivaha pura paripurenti sagarang evamevi todinang petanang upakappati ecitang patitang tumang kipameva samicchatu sape purentu sankappa chando pannadaso yata manijotiraso yata
sabitio vivachantu saparogo vinasatu mate bhavatvam tarayo sukidika yuko bhava abhivadana silesa nichang vodapachayino chattaro dhamma vatanti ayuvanno sukhang Padang Ayodo Balado Diado Vanado Patibhanado Sokha Sadata Medhavi Sokhang So Atikachati Ayung Tatva Balang Vanang Sokhancha Patibhanado Tika Yuya Savahuti Yatha Yato Papachati Ti Akato Vipasananang Agang Dhammang Vijanatang Age Bodhe Pasananang Takineye Anuttare Age Dhamme Pasananang Vyarago Pasame Sukhe Age Sanghe Pasananang Puñña Kete Anuttare Agasming Danang Tadatang Angang Puññang Pavadati Angang Ayuchavanno Chayaso Kiti Sokhang Balang Agasadata Medhavi Agadhamma Samahito Deva Bhuto Manusova Agapato Pamodati Bhavatu Sapamangalang Rakantu Sambhadivata Sambha Buddhanubhavina Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sambhamangalang Rakantu Sambhadivata Sambha Dhammanubhavina Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sambhamangalam Rakantu Sambhadevata Sambha Sanghanubhavina Sada Soti Bhavantu Te.
So I've already okay. okay, thanks. So I talked already quite a bit about making good karma, puñña. This is what we are doing today, and how we maximize that by making karma with faith, with saddha in the triple gem, and by establishing purity in our heart through the observance of precepts and through conviction in the principle of karma, that the result of action will always come back to us. But there's one other aspect which I still want to mention, and which is a very important part of the robe offering ceremony in this season in the year. And that is acting in concord and harmony, in working together. The monks are not allowed by the Buddha to cook food. We're not allowed. We are not allowed to store food on our own. The Buddha deliberately wanted us to completely depend for our material needs on the lay community. Because in this way, the monks cannot just hide. They cannot just live as a hermit and you never see them. This way the Buddha made sure that there's some minimum interaction every day. Even if a monk only goes arms round quietly, there's an opportunity for everyone every day to make good karma by meeting that monk. Similar, from the side of the lay community, you may not always have the time and the energy to practice and to study the Dhamma as much as monks or nuns. If you have to earn your livelihood, if you have to look after family and kids, the time is more limited. Whereas the monks, being supported by you, we can dedicate the vast majority of our time and energy to Dhamma practice. So the monks and nuns may have an advantage in their practice and may have some more profound understanding due to that, and that is what they can share with the lay community. So it is a mutual sharing. The monks depending on the material support from the lay community receiving Dhamma teachings from the Sangha, receiving an example from the Sangha, receiving the maintenance of the patipada, the practice, as the Lord Buddha and the Kuba Ajahn established it, and maintaining that. That's the job of the Sangha. And only when both act together in concord can that be done successfully. So this is a time to reflect on the value of concord and harmony. And I'm very happy when I look around and I see many different nationalities. I can already hear from the accents that we are not only having Aussies, we also have Germans, we have Thais, we have Sinhalese, we have Vietnamese coming here, Chinese, sometimes Cambodian, Laos. We do have Aussies, we have an Austrian, we have an American monk. And we can see that all the different nationalities, all the different ethnic groups, all the different races, as long as they are guided by the principles of Dhamma, as long as they are sharing the same wholesome aspiration, as long as they are acting in concord and harmony in order to generate karma and good puñña, and we can all live together. We can include everyone. We can practice the Upekkhā Dhamma. You may be aware that Luang Por Lien just had his 80th birthday on Friday, the 5th of November. Luang Por Liem is the successor of Ajahn Chah. And since Ajahn Chah passed away in the early 90s, he has been the abbot of what Nong Papong is doing all the ordinations. We have been fortunate to have him visiting 3 times already. And the 4th time only didn't work out because we got Australia shut down. But he has been supporting and guiding the establishment of Dhammagiri for quite a few years now. And on Friday, we were celebrating his 80th birthday. And Luang Por had shared that when he first arrived in Nong Papong, the very first Dhamma teaching he received from Luang Por Chah was actually about Upekkhā Dhamma, also known as Brahma Vihara, Mettā, loving kindness, Karuṇā, compassion, Muditā, sympathetic joy, and Upekkhā, equanimity. And all 4 are practiced together, supporting and reinforcing each other. But what Luang Por also pointed out, the way Ajahn Chah was teaching it to him was not only focusing on the quality of Brahma Vihara and developing the heart like a Brahma, because compassion, loving kindness, sympathetic joy and equanimity are the natural qualities of these high Devas. And if we develop these qualities, we are dwelling, we are living in our heart like a Brahma. But Ajahn Chah pointed out the quality of Upekkhā, which means boundless, limitless, without restriction. And that is a difference between, say, love, affection, kindness that one may feel for a child, for a spouse, for a parent, and the true Upekkhā Vihara, the ability to extend our loving kindness, our compassion to absolutely all beings without distinction, without difference. Whether they like us or they hate us, whether they reciprocate or they don't care about us, whether they are Aussies or Sri Lankan, Thai or German, Chinese or Vietnamese, American, doesn't matter. Even animals, when we truly have boundless loving kindness, we include all animals. If we have boundless loving kindness, we include all spirits, all hungry ghosts. The point is not to tear down all limitations, all restrictions, all boundaries. We try to make our loving kindness, our compassion infinite, and we try to spread it out, not only to the people here today, but also to the neighbors, but also to everyone in Brisbane, in Queensland, everyone in Australia, everyone in this whole world, everyone throughout the solar system and into the universe, to the furthest galaxies, green aliens and blue aliens, invisible aliens, it doesn't matter. On a day like this, based on our puñña and the happiness we feel already, we think of all beings, absolutely everyone, without distinction. They don't have to do anything, they don't have to fulfill any criteria, they don't have to do anything to qualify. Every living being is already inherently qualified for our loving kindness, for our compassion. And we include all of them. So I talked quite a bit, and I'm sure you are keen on getting to the final part of our program, the Paritta Chanting. And I want to invite Anumodanā to lead that Paritta Chanting, and Venerable Bodhisattva will do the invitation to all Devas, because not only human beings, but all the spirits love listening to that. Now, there's a story from Ajahn Mun. When the Devas once came after he was chanting, quietly alone in the forest reciting the Dhamma, and the Devas were praising him. And he was surprised, and he asked them, but how can you hear me in these faraway Devalokas? Now I'm just reciting very quietly. And the Devas were just laughing. And they said, how couldn't we hear you? Now the sound of your chanting is reverberating through the three worlds, the Tiloka. This is the power of Paritta Chanting. If it's done with a pure heart and good intention, then many beings will participate. And again, if Chanya or Tum can do the invitation to the Sangha.
Vipati patipahaya Sappha sampatisiddhiya Sappha dukkha vinasaya Parittaṃ prūtamaṃ Vipati patipahaya Sappha sampatisiddhiya Sappha phaya vinasaya Parittaṃ prūtamaṃ Vipati patipahaya Sappha sampatisiddhiya Sappha rokha vinasaya Parittaṃ prūtamaṃ
Parittavana metan sameta badanta avikita chitta parittam banantu Sage kame charupe girisikarata te chantalike vimane Dipera te chagame taruwana gahane gehawatumhi kete Bhuma chayantu deva jalatala visame yaka gandaba naga Titanta santi keyang Munivara vachanang sadavo me sunantu Buddha dasana kailo ayam badanta Dhamma sawana kailo ayam badanta Sangha pairupasana ayam badanta
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhassa Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Yo cakkuma mohamalapakato samang vabuddho sogato vimutto marasapasa vinimocayanto papisikemang janatang vineyang Buddhaṃ varantaṃ sirasanamamilo kasanataṃ ca vinayakaṃ ca tante jasate jayasiddhi hotu sapantaraya ca vinasamentu dhammo dajoyo viyatassa sattu dasi silo kasa Visuddhi Maggaṃ Niyaniko Dhammadharasadhari Satavaho Santikaro Socenno Dhammaṃ Varantaṃ Sirasanamami Mohapadalaṃ Upasantadahaṃ Tante Jasate Jayasiddhi Hotu Sapantaraya Chavinasamento Sadhammasena Sugatanugoyo Lokasapapo Bakile Sajeta Santo Sayang Santinio Chakochasvakata Dhammang Viditang Karoti Sanghang Varantang Sirasanamami Bodha No Bodhang Samasila Ditting Tante Chasate Jayasiddhi Hotu Sapantaraya Chavinasamento Asivana Chapalanang Panditanang Chasivana Puja Chapuja Niyanang Itam Mangalamuttamang Patirupati Savaso Chapope Chakata Puññata Atta Samma Paniti Cha Itam Mangalamuttamang Pahusacha Cha Sipancha Vinayo Cha Susikhito Supasita Chayavacha Itam Mangalamuttamang Mata Pitu Upatanang Buddhadarasa Sanghaho Anakula Chakamanta Itam Mangalamuttamang Danan Cha Dhammacharya Chanya Takanancha Sanghaho Anavachani Kamani Itam Mangalamuttamang Arati Virati Papa Machapana Cha Sanyamo Appamado Cha Dhammesu Tam Mangalamuttamang Garavo Cha Nivato Cha Santoti Cha Katanyuta kalina dhamma savanang idam mangalamuttamang kanti chaso vachasata samananang chadasanang kalina dhamma sakacha idam mangalamuttamang tapo cha brahmacharyancha ariyasacham nadasanang nibbanasachikhiryacha idam mangalamuttamang bodhasalokadhammi hichitang yasanakampati asokang virajang kemang idam mangalamuttamang itadisani tavana sapattamaparajita sapattasotingachanti anti sangmangalamuttamanti yang kinchi vitang idava hurang va saki sova yang ratanang panitang nano samang atitata gatina idam pipodhe ratanang panitang itena sachena sovati hoto kayang viragang amatang panitang yadachaga sakyamuni samahito natina dhamme nasamati kinchi idam pidhamme ratanang panitang itena sachi nasuvati hoto yam bodhaseto parivannayi socheng samadhi manantarikan yamahu samadhinati nasamo navichati idam pidhamme ratanang panitang itena sachena suvati hotu ye pogala attasatang pasata chatari itani yugani honti te dakineya sugatassa savaka ite sudinani mahapalani idampi sanghe ratanang panitang itena sachena suvati hotu ye sopayutta manasadalhina nikamino gotamasasanamite patipata amatang vighaya ladhamudha niputing ponchamana idampi sanghe ratanang panitang itena sachena suvati hotu kinang puranang navang nati sambhavang virata citta yatike bhavasming tikina bija avirulhi chanda nipanti dhira yatayam padipo idampi sanghe ratanang panitang itena sachena suvati hoto Karaniya matta kusalina yantang santang padang apisamecha sakko ujo chasujo chasuvacho chasamudu anatimani santo sakko chasubharo cha apakicho chasalahukavoti santindriyo chanipako cha apagambo Puleso ananukito nachakodhang samachari kinchijina vinyo pari upavadeyong sukino vakimino hontu sabi satta bhavantu sukitata ikichipana buddhatita sava dhavarava anavasisa dikavaye mahantava machimara sakha anukatula ditta va ye cha aditta ye cha dure vasanti avidure buddha va sambhavi siva sape satta bhavantu sukhitatta naparo parang nikopetana timanyetana dachinang kinchi payarosana patikasanya nandya sadukkam icheyamata yataniyang potang ayusa ikapottam anurake evam pisambhabhuti sumana sambhavaye aparimanang mettan cha sambhalokasming mana sambhavaye aparimanang Odhang adho chatiriyang cha asambhadang avirang asapatang titan charang nisinnova sayanova yavatassa vigatamidho itang sating aditteya brahmam itang viharang idamahuditin cha anupakammasidava dasane na sampanno kami suvineyakidhang nahi chatukam bhaseyang punaretiti iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vicha charana sampanno sugato lokavido anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati sattha deva manosanang Buddho Bhagavati Svakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ihipassiko Opanaiko Pachatang Viditabo Vinyuhiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Uchupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Nyaya Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Samichi Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Pugala Isa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Puñña Ketang Lokasati Vipassi sanamato chakumanta sasirimato sikhisa pinamato sambhabhuta nukampino vesabhu sanamato nahatakasatapasino namato kakusandha samarasena pamandino kona kamana sanamato brahma Manasavusimato Kasapasanamato Vipamutta Sasambhadi Angirasa Sanamato Sakyaputta Sasirimato Yo Imang Dhammamati Sisi Sambadukha Panudanang Yichapinim Bhutaloke Yata Bhutang Vipassisong Techana apisuna mahanta vita sarada hitang deva manosanang yang namasanti gotamang vicha charana sampannang mahantang vita saradang vicha charana sampannang bodhang vandama gotamanti yanto nimittang avamangalang chayo chamanapo sakona sasando papagaho dosopinang akantang bodhanubhavi navinasamentu yanto nimittang avamangalang chayo chamanapo sakona sasando papagaho dosopinang akantang Dhamma nubhavi navinasamentu yanto nimittang avamangalang chayo chamanapo sakona sasando papagaho dosopinang akantang Sangha nubhavi navinasamentu Pochango sati sankhato dhammanang vichayo tata viryam piti pasandi pochanga chatata pari samadupekkhā pochanga satete sambadasina munina sammadakkhata bhavita bahulikata sangvatanti abhinyayani panaya cabodhiya itena sacha vacina sotiti hotu sambada ikasming samayinato mogalanang chakasapang kilane dokkite disva pochange satadi sayite chatang abhinanditva roga moching sutankani itena sacha vacina sotite hotu sambada ikada dhammaraja pikilanin apipilito chondate arena tanje vabana petvana sadarang samboditva cha abada dhammavota sitanaso itena sacha vacina sotite hotu sambada pahinate cha abada tinnanampi mahisinang Magahata kilesa vapatano pati dhammatang itimna sacha vacina sotite hotu sambada Pahung sahasamapinim mita savudantang grime kalang uditagho asasena marang dana di dhamma vidina chittava munindo tante jasa pavatute jaya mangalani mara dire kamapiyo chitta sambarating goarang pana lavakama kamatandayakang kanti sudanta vidina chittava munindo tante jasa pavatute jaya mangalani nala giringa chavarang atimata bhutang davangi chakamasani vasudarunantang Mettam puseka vidina chittava munindo tante jasa pavatute jaya mangalani oke takagam atihatta sudarunantang davanti yojanapatang gulimadavantang iti pisankatamano chittava munindo tante jasa pavatute jaya mangalani katva nakattam udarang ivagambhiniya chinchaya dottavachanang janakaya mache Sante nasoma vidina chittava munindo tante jasa pavatute jaya mangalani sachang vihaya mati sacha kavada kitong vada piropitamanang ati andha bhutang Puñña pati pachalito cittava munindo Tante jasa bhavatute jaya mangalani nando pananda pujagang vibudang mahiting pote natera pujakena dhamma payanto itu pati savidina cittava munindo Tante jasa bhavatute jaya mangalani toga aditi pujakena sudata Hatang Brahmang Visuddhi Chotim Iti Bhakapidanang Yana Gadina Vidhina Cittava Munindo Tante Jasa Bhavatute Jaya Mangalani Ita Vibodha Jaya Mangala Attagata Vachano dinatine saratem atandi hitavanani kavividhani chupandavani mokhang sukhang adhigameya narosapanyo Mahakaruniko nato hitaya sambapaninang puaretva paramisapa pato sambodhimottamang etena sachavacina hotute jaya mangalang jayanto bodhiyamune sakyanang nandivandano evang tavang vichayo hichayasu jaya mangali aparachita palanke sise patavipokari abhiseke sababodhanang agapato pamodati sonakatang somangalang supapatang sohotitang sukhano somohoto jasuyitang brahmachari sopadakinang kaya kamang vacha kamang padakinang mano kamang panidite padakina nikatavana labhantate padakine Bhavatu samba mangalam rakhantu samba devata samba buddha nubhavina sada soti bhavantu te bhavatu samba mangalam rakhantu samba devata samba dhamma nubhavina sada soti bhavantu te bhavatu samba mangalam rakhantu samba devata samba sanghanu bhavina sada soti bhavantu te.
So that brings us closer to the end of our program. May you be protected through the power of the Paritta and the power of your good karma, the power of the triple gem and the Kuba Ajahns. May you be protected from all illness. May you be safe from all disease. May you be cured from all sickness, and may long life, happiness, strength, beauty, success, happy rebirth, and realization of the Dhamma be realized by you. Anumodanā for all contributions.